just a little bit late, and I apologize for that. We just had, well, a lot of really ridiculous things that we're trying to do, and it just took a little bit of extra time to get them put together for you. So we're very glad that you're here tonight. You will see in front of you students representing Allendale and Campbell and Fairmount and Fremont and Sierra and Stott and Van Arsdale and Vanderhoof and Westwoods Elementary Schools. All 9 of them are represented. Would you please give them a big round of applause? This is our advanced band, and we've been at this for 2 years now, and we've got a really fun show planned for you. So we're going to start out with sort of a traditional thing. Bands play marches. It's just what we do. It's the military tradition, and so what we have is we call it the Parade of Heroes. It is the marches, each representing each of the 4 branches of the U.S. military. I don't know if you can tell, but the drummers had a crazy partner in that one. They handled it extremely well. Nice job, guys. So we're here at beautiful Rawson Valley High School in the auditorium. I want to thank a couple of people for making that possible. Mr. Ken Sawyer is the band director here at Rawson Valley, and Miss Kelly Watts is the assistant director here at Rawson Valley. I know she's up in the booth. Everybody say thank you to Miss Watts. And the whole staff and administration here at Wallaston Valley, as we're preparing for this concert, we had 5 extra after-school rehearsals, as you know, which means that people around here have to kind of vacate spaces for us and make, facilities available to us, and we really appreciate it. There's no way we could pull this off, me and Mrs. Nelson, on our own with like 1 day of rehearsal or 2. It really does take this much work to put it together, and we really appreciate Wallaston Valley making their facility available to us to do that. I would like to recognize a few people, and I hope I don't mess up any names as I'm doing this, but we had a handful of students represent these schools in this area in the All-County Band, which met back in February. And the All-County Band is a really special event. We get basically 1 student from every school in the entire school district. We come together for a couple of hours one afternoon and give a concert that night. It's a crazy thing, and it's a lot of fun, and the kids did a really great job, and I'd like to have them just stand up, and please save your applause to the very end, just so that this doesn't take forever. Let's see. Representing Allendale Elementary was Ligaya Yang. Representing, go ahead and stand up, Ligaya. Representing Campbell was Kathy Aikman. Representing Fairmount was Jack Rutherford. Representing Fremont was, yes, Jack, come on, another Jack. We got lots of Jacks all over the place. Stand up. I'm sorry, Jake Dorsey, not Jack, Jake Dorsey, Jacob Dorsey, my bad. Representing Sierra was, let's see, who did we have from Sierra? We had some trombones. We had Chris Miller and Zoe Watson representing Sierra. We had from Van Arsdale Elementary, we had our saxophone player, Mr. Kyle Hennessy. From Vanderhoof Elementary School, we had, remind me, we had French horn player Geneva Pauley, thank you Geneva. And from Westwoods, we had a couple of representatives, another trombone player, Mr. John, come on, it's out of my head. John Lee, because it's a hard one to remember. And one of our drummers who you got to see on that last one, Mr. Eric Gustafson. Would you please give them all a big round? Oh, I missed a school. My bad. We had a flute player from Stock, Miss Kellyanne Paul. Okay, our next song that we're going to play for you is a pretty little tune drawing on themes and some of the sounds and colors from the Native American world. This is called Aztec Sunrise. Okay, before we do this next thing, there are just a handful of, just a lot of people I need to thank and point out and bring some attention to. First of all, the man running all the lights for us today is a student here at Ralston Valley High School, Mr. Ethan Thomas. He's over there. To pull this off, I've got a couple of stage managers that are helping me out, and you'll understand why in a minute. Just let me put it that way. This would not happen without the help of these people. Cody and Wendy Elder are in the back. I want to say thank you to them. I also brought a couple of friends along to help us get through this song, just kind of adding some things to it, some maturity, and some of the things that you just can't, plug into a kid. And it's really nice to have them. We have a really talented musician. He's a piano player who plays actually over at Arvada West, and he was in all-state choir this year and all-state orchestra, and I don't know, the list goes on and on and on. He's a phenomenally talented person. I'd like to introduce Mr. Austin Mitchell. Helping out with the drummers and filling in some of the colors that we just don't have enough people to do. A former student of mine who is a music educator now getting his principal's license in Jefferson County Schools. A really talented young man, great guy. This is Mr. Sean Montoya. And it gives me great pleasure to introduce our narrator for this evening. This is a man whom I have known for a while now. He's in a variety of different capacities. He was, for a time, my principal when I was in high school. He was, for a time, simply the dad of another player on a baseball team that kept whooping my team's butt. He has been my boss for a brief period of time, and he is now the president of the Jefferson County School Board, which I guess makes him my boss again. Anyway, ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Ron Mitchell.
Got it. We are live. We are live. And this part of tonight's program is titled The Tales of Addison. This is Addison. Please welcome her to the stage. Addison wants to change the world. What, Addison? Was that a bit too dramatic? It seems so to me as well. Perhaps we can tone it down a bit. Addison knows that to change the world, she is going to need to prepare. In other words, she is going to need to train. However, wanting to do something and preparing to do something are great, but they don't exactly help you know what to do. Sometimes you need help finding a place to start, and when you want to find something, so Inspector Clouseau, did you find it? No. Do you actually ever find anything? Inspector, you don't, do you? You really don't find anything? Thank you, Inspector. Perhaps you should leave this to us. To Addison, you still don't know where to start, do you? Well, who should you call now? Who are you going to call? Well, it does not appear that Marshmallow Man or Ghostbuster were the answer on the phone. Having exhausted extensive possibilities close to home, Miss Addison decides to try her luck overseas. But that presents a different sort of challenge. How exactly does one cross an ocean? Well, the surfboard is actually pretty creative. But of course, all of us know that that's not always safe in the ocean. Perhaps that's not the answer, Addison. Perhaps something a little safer, a little steadier to cross the ocean. But then, being on a boat is not a guarantee of safety either. But luckily for Addison, both the American Navy and Her Majesty's Royal Navy are very reliable.